What's up, everyone? My name's Lou, and it's my mission to aid your awakening. And today, I'm going to discuss the void phase of awakening. Now, this is the hardest, this phase of time, and my experience of the void phase was the hardest period of my entire life so far. And either way I see it, other people will see it in different ways. Dark night of the soul, you've got spiritual depression, aspects like that. But for me, the void is the most challenging part of awakening. For me, this happened in the first year, the first 8 to 10 months while I was waking up. And the way I can describe it is by that. I feel like you're losing yourself, but it feels like an internal void has opened up inside you, which can feel empty, hollow, meaningless, like you are turning or moving and your life is slowly becoming nothing. You are turning into nothingness temporarily until it passes, you let go and more comes in and you start to move up in vibration and everything gets better. So it's the most challenging time, and I felt inspired to make this video because a lot of you may be going into this now or maybe experiencing the void while you're in lockdown, or this year a lot of people have been waking up, and I think it's more than overdue that I make this video and just explain what it was like for me going into the void and why you must embrace it if you want to get out of it, transcend and move on to a higher level of reality, to a much, much, much better level of reality than you're experiencing, than you were experiencing also. So like I sort of hinted at the start, the void, the experience of the void phase of awakening is a period of time where you'll feel like you're turning into a black hole of self. Maybe you've gone into this in a certain way, maybe some negative things have triggered you, maybe you've had some awful events happen and you're dealing with this pain now and you're moving into the space of nothingness, of numbness, of void-like feeling. Or it could be everything was going well, you're starting to wake up, you're starting to realise things about yourself, you're starting to experience blissful states, transcendent states, and then all of a sudden it's come to a grinding halt, and all of a sudden you start to feel like you've lost part of yourself. The greatest feeling that I can describe in part of the void is loss. Like if you were going into a void, you're just lost a lot, you're not getting much back, and slowly things are falling away, and you're just like falling down a well, falling into darkness. You don't know where you're going, and ultimately there's nothing you can hold on to. As much as you want to try and regain, parts of yourself, or hold on to different aspects of yourself, or different things that maybe used to excite you, makes you, you were passionate about, things you enjoyed, people, family, friends. There's nothing you can hold on to, and the only thing that you do know is that you're going somewhere dark, somewhere scary, and into the unknown, and not a fun unknown, not like a euphoria, it's more like a dysphoria. Very, very scary time. And I'm just get straight into my experience of the void. My experience of the void was just a gradual, very resistant phase of loss and loss and loss. I went through upsetting, I had a death in my family, I had upsetting things that happened. As much as I like to think that, at the time I like to think that those things that happened contributed to this feeling of the void, to being in the void. I knew that given that hard things have happened since then, I know that this was specifically difficult, and it's a difficult thing in itself, and I don't think it always has to do with external factors. Part of waking up is something you have to confront, and it may put a lot of people off, but I'm here in this video to tell you that I got through it, that anyone can get through it, and you will get it through it way faster, way easier than I did, if you make sure not to resist it, if you make sure to embrace these emotions that are coming up, and to embrace the challenge. You're like an explorer, you're going into the void, you're going into this tunnel, and you just need to keep pushing on, because the light's on the other side, it gets so much better, and instead of sitting there and giving up, or trying to go back, or trying to cling to the sides and not go any further into the void, I just say go headlong into the void. I'm going to say embrace the void, because my experience was that, I had the hermit phase. It's usually coupled with the hermit phase. It's likely, you're going into the void if you're experiencing strange spiritual depression, crippling anxiety that just seems to come out of nowhere, come and go. It's like you're having mild panic attacks, One day you're good chatting to someone, the next time you go to talk to them, you feel super tensed up, you feel so anxious all of a sudden. And for someone that you usually would feel comfortable around, there's going to be these they're going to come at certain times. You have to find the lesson in each time it's coming up, find what it's revealing about yourself, but also just be prepared, because you're going to start getting hit with depression, you're going to get hit with anxiety, and it comes and goes in waves. I had to feel great for a few days, feel fantastic, on top of the world. Like, it's all gone, like I'm better again, I'm fine again, like all of my problems have been handled, and then a day or two later just get hit again. I can't get out of bed. I don't even want to see anyone. I don't even want to see the friends, the people I trust most. Where I was at university, I was scared of them. I started making up stories in my head about them because I was so resistant to what was going on. I was trying to find answers from the outside. Overall, there was no answer. Overall, I had to later find out I was waking up, and overall just embrace when this happens. The mindset you want to have, and I did in earlier videos, I'll link here, is about why you should see life as a process, why you should look forward to every challenge, look forward to every time you feel bad, because you know this is a healing process. You know you're not feeling bad because you've done something bad or because you've failed. You're feeling bad because you're being healed and because this thing you're experiencing is coming up to be released. But unfortunately, if you don't know that rational, if you don't have that mindset, that positive growth mindset, and you just feel like you're feeling bad because something's gone deeply, deeply wrong, as opposed to you're being blessed with a healing process and transformative process, like I felt. I literally felt soulless. I literally felt like something had been taken out of me. I felt like I'd been possessed by some evil spirit. Why was I feeling this void? Now we'll get into the reasons why later on, but it shows you how bad we can get when you resist this. This is a great time when you go into your hermit phase. You're looking up spiritual knowledge. You're reading all about this. You're separating yourself from people and getting to know yourself better. But the void phase, I think, is just the worst period of the hermit phase, where you get comfortable sometimes. When you're in the hermit phase, you're like, okay, I just can't see anyone for some reason. I just don't feel like seeing people, don't feel like socializing. But I'm kind of happy being in this little world I've created for myself for a time being, as you're transforming slowly and you're getting information, you're excited about learning new things, and you're going out into the world and you're seeing it through this different lens, all the things you've learned, all the things you've now realized. However, the void phase is just like the hellish part in the middle of the hermit phase, where you don't have the energy to do anything, you feel utterly exhausted. Your old self is breaking away. The reason you feel the void is because your old self is breaking away, and your old self, the large chunks of your egos are suddenly disappearing. You're releasing them. Yet these are fundamental aspects that you thought you were. This is who you thought you were your whole life, and now it's disappearing away. I always perceived myself from a third-person perspective, and when I stopped being able to do that, I was worried. I felt naked. I felt like I couldn't have my guard up. This guard that I usually have, this contracted state I'd had, I was starting to break away. It was like the defenses, my ego defense wall was taken away. And now I felt stripped naked, terrified that I was being exposed, and my vulnerable side was becoming so open. This is where you draw your strength. Your vulnerability has a lot of strength. But I was scared of revealing that to people. And I felt like I was just revealing more and more and more. And I was scared of what I was saying. I was scared that this ego defense that built up my whole life was being taken away. And yet I felt this void inside myself. I didn't feel these good emotions that I would feel, that most people do feel from being vulnerable, from releasing positively. You feel like yourself is being stolen away. This is why it feels like a force is taking over you, and some kind of evil, malevolent force is taking control of your life, and you are becoming soulless, you're becoming empty and nothing. This is why it can be extremely depressing and very numbing to go through this phase. But you also learn so much about yourself. But I had periods where I was in my room, I couldn't even get out of my bed but my most painful month, I was living in a house and I didn't even want to go into the kitchen. I was too terrified to even go in the kitchen and talk to others. I would lie in bed all day and I would literally only go at night time. I would only go at night to eat food, because I'd go down and then I'd eat food when no one was around. I didn't really want to get up during the day because there were too many people around, and I walked around outside, I'd smoke a few cigarettes, and then I'd maybe grab some alcohol, drink that, come back up to my room and just hide out, stake out in my room. Some nights I felt too tired to even walk over to the sink, which was in my bedroom, and brush my teeth and go to sleep. This is how bad it was. It was crippling. The only thing that did give me enjoyment at that time was doing yoga. I did yoga every day, and I was doing Kundalini meditations because I was getting really into it then at that point. But my energy I felt like I had this flood of energy, but it was very ungrounded energy, and I couldn't focus on things. I had blurry vision when I walked around. It's a very intense experience, and I didn't want to be around anyone. I was too scared. Imagine someone like me who only dealt with a tiny bit of social anxiety maybe when I was younger. Someone who I always saw myself as a fairly confident person, get on well, very personable person. I've no problem talking to people, usually. Had that. Yet, in a matter of months, I was too scared and too ashamed to even talk honestly about it with my family, that I was spending all day in my room and only coming down to eat food at night time. There was a complete flip in my personality because so much was going on and I was felt in this void state, and because I was so resistant of it. I was scared. I was like, what's the next stage? What's going to happen? Am I going to lose my mind, go crazy? I've done videos on that, how the fear of going crazy is very normal during awakening, but all this happened in this bombardment space of time that we call the void. Now, if I'd been less resistant to it and known it was just the void phase, I'd have given myself much more self-love. And this is what I tell anyone that's watching this to do. Give yourself more self-love. Accept that you're on this awakening path and honour it. And take time and enjoy the time you have to yourself. And if you're scared of people, that's fine. You will, all these things that you feel like you've lost will come back clean, but more efficiently and better. And all these things you felt you've lost, everything you're not, I love the Kanye West lyric, everything I'm not made me everything I am. Everything you're not in this moment, come back to these parts of you that you felt you've missing, but these parts of you will be even brighter, will shine even brighter. These aspects you missed will be back and will reside within you again. It's just a matter of time of just embracing this void, going into this unknown, letting the work, the deep, deep inner work that's going on, subconscious work, let that happen. Enable that process to take place. I was in this void. It came for a month or two, and then a few months later, it came for 2 to 3 months, and slowly I got better. I moved up and up and up after that. But yeah, it's an extremely transformative time, guys. It's going to remove a lot of your fear. It's going to remove a lot of your anxiety. You're feeling that fear, that anxiety, that feeling of nothingness, your emptiness. You know, this is coming up to be released. What you are not, what you're experiencing right now, if you're experiencing this, that you are the opposite of that, and you're that aspects of you which is clouding the aspects of you love. You need to live with it for a few months, for a certain amount of time, because it wants to be released. It'll be released forever. Remember that. And the reason you are experiencing this is so that you can enable transcendent states in the future. This space which is opening up within you is the space of your being which is growing and expanding. The space which contains the most amount of light, the most amount of emotional healing. This space which is developing within you is going to enable you, is going to carry all your gifts in the future. It's going to enable you to be in a state of non-resistance. Once you open up and embrace the void, once you are able to have no resistance to something as scary as the void, you can go through life with such little resistance, feeling like you're floating along. You can move through life so easily and so gracefully because you have embraced what you fear most. The nothingness, the void, which every human being fears the most, the darkness. Once you can embrace it and it moves through you and you release it and you get rid of it, then you can access transcendent states of being. When I say transcendent states, I mean I'm talking about power versus force here. You tap into this innate power that we have, this innate power in which we can project ourselves with ease, in which we can just go about and access transcendent states. Great sportsmen can do this. It's when they have no resistance to the challenge and this transcendent state comes through and carries through you. You're taken over by that force of presence. This effortless action can take place once you lose resistance to what you're doing, become immersed within it, and then access the flow. And from this way, you can live life so much easier. You can do things you never imagined. I can do things now I never imagined, simply through receiving all this energy. I don't need to sleep as much. I have much, much more energy from being opened up by embracing the void, releasing those things that are in my way, because the only thing that's in your way is yourself. Once you access this, you'll have such an abundance of energy, and you will feel so much sharper and more awake. And this is ultimately what it's designing us to do, to be more conscious of everything around us, and to be focused. In the end, accessing the void, and once you've lost all resistance to the void, it'll enable you to access this silent place within you, where you won't have to be controlled by the mind anymore, you won't have to fret about your thoughts, you can access a very peaceful and silenced domain within yourself. This inner space is enabling you to not be as reactionary to external events. It's enabling you to have a place inside yourself which is completely silent, completely at peace. This is what a lot of people run around madly for in the Western world. They run around madly just to find a place where they can be peaceful, whereas you can carry this, this can be your gift, this space you can hold within you. You cultivate it through entering the void. Through being in the void, you release that which is scary to you. The control of the mind. The ego is freaking out, the ego is flaring up at the thought, at the sight of its own demise. The ego thinks, I might die here, I might die here. Let it die, enter the void, let the ego die, and you'll forever find this place of peace and safety and sanctuary within yourself. But be prepared, people. The void is here for us when we need it most. It will burn through our emotional layers. It will burn through our physical layers. It will give us a great amount of fatigue. That's why you need to honour yourself, like I said. Love yourself in this moment. Take care of yourself. Have plenty of rest. Drink lots of water. Don't involve yourself in avoid things which might flare you up emotionally. Be with people you trust. Be with people you love unconditionally. Family time's good during this period. Make your life nice and simple again. No matter how great dreams you might have. A lot of people that get into this stuff, you're ambitious like me. You're ambitious. You have great dreams you want to achieve, but you also, what good are those dreams if you can't heal yourself into the person that can actually achieve the dreams? Allow yourself to become the person who can actually achieve those dreams by giving yourself time to love yourself, to take care of yourself, to rest, to get through and past this void state. And remember, ultimately, guys, I know it can be very, very hard during this time. It was very, very hard for me. Still the hardest thing I've gone through in my life. So what I'd say is, just know that the only thing you can lose here are falsehoods. The only thing you're losing to the void is falsehoods. Believe me, I was scared. When I was letting go of things or things I was holding on to, I thought, no, I need this. A lot of mental paradigms, a lot of mental attachments, emotional attachments. I think I need to remember this. I don't want to forget it. But enable yourself to let go of it. Enable yourself to let go of the information, whatever it is, the aspects of your personality that you think you need, because it will come back and it's always there. It's deep down. It's here. It's no longer here controlling you, running you. It's here, and you can simply pick the book off the shelf. Instead of the book pages flapping in front of you and constantly dragging your attention this way and that, they're being stored. Let go of them, because your higher self is storing them on a bookshelf to which you can pick and look at the information whenever you choose to, and not have it jump out and attack you instead. If we embrace the void, guys, if we enable that healing to take place, we will come back and move through the world now of a much higher vibration. So much more resilience. Using it as something to know that once we've got through the void, we can get through anything. And with all this, we can get blessings, blessings, blessings. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope it's a very serious topic. If anyone wants to send me any messages, feel free on Instagram, LouisStevens11. If you have any messages, if you want to reach out to me at the time, if you feel like you're going through the void state as well, just know I'm here for you. And I'll be available as a coach soon, coming up also. So, thanks, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Peace and love. Bye-bye. Hey.